Yeah, he's a smart horse. I think he would have made a lot of natural improvement from that race. 1400, pedigree-wise, it's pretty fast, but attitude-wise, I think it's not going to be an issue. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he does it, how he steps up, but I'm expecting a big run.
Yeah, he's a half-brother to Secret Potion. Starting a bit earlier with him, he's a little bit of a stronger individual. Shown us some nice work, Alston, but you know what it's like. Baby's first run, he's drawn in the middle of the field. I imagine he's likely to be green, but he's decent, and you know, obviously, I hope he'll go well and should be included in all exotics.
Yeah, basically the same thing as SOQRAT. She's trying the distance for the first time as well. Interesting to see how she steps up, but she's a quality filly just like SOQRAT, so we're hoping for the best. Yeah, ALWAHSH and NAFAAYES. NAFAAYES has just been in some tough races and just still finding his feet, but I think he's doing really well now. I think this is the right race for him, a good opportunity for him to get back in the winner's box. Expecting a big run. And then ALWAHSH, trying to tongue-tie on him, very competitive horse as well, and I think it's definitely also that'll be in the money.
Yeah, you know, he only finished 4 lengths off them, landed up pinging the gates and maybe doing it a touch too hard up in front. It was the first time Cornet had been on him, so he wasn't really had full knowledge of how the horse races, so you can't blame him for that. And you know, taking all of that into consideration, he actually ran a fair race. He's a horse that's very consistent. If I'm not mistaken, I think out of his 9 starts, 7 of these starts he's been in the money.
Coming up in race number 4 as well, you got, of course, Superstar ABASHIRI, Splendid Garden and Will Pace.
Yeah, ABASHIRI, this is just probably 1 of 3 more steps for us going into the Vodacom Durban July, and at the moment his preparation's going smoothly. I think it's no secret that 1400's a bit sharp of his best, and this will be a preparation run going into the Vodacom Durban July, so we're just hoping everything goes smoothly and that he comes out of the run well, but more than likely we'd like to just see him running on strongly towards the end of the race.
Splendid Garden won a cracker the last time out.
Yeah, Splendid Garden really, he ran a nice race last time out. I don't think there's been any winners out of the form line though, so that's the only thing that you have to consider. But he's a horse that we feel that he's starting to show good work again, and he's coming back to himself. And if the race goes his way, I think he could be a big runner. Also, Luke Ferraris rided really well, got the claim 4 on his back, could help us out.
And of course, stable companion Will Pace. Is that fair to say that is the preference of the 3 in that race?
Yeah, 100%. You know, this is definitely his course and distance. Pinnacles would suit a horse like him with a high rating, and like I said, this being his course and distance, out of the 3 of the stable, he'll definitely be the elect.
Coming up in the 4th race, you got the Super Filly, of course, recent Group 1 winning Secret Potion. She's now back to a 14.
Yeah, she's just actually having basically a pipe opener. I did speak with the handicappers. We'd like to run her in the July. She goes in there off 52. You know, she's such a progressive little filly that you never know quite what you're going to get with her. But she's nicely drawn here, lowish sort of a weight. Not expecting to win it. It's obviously competitive, and I think a lot of horses might be using this Pinnacle as a prep. But it's you know, it'll just give her sort of the race course feeling again, and just blow her out. And hopefully she's ready for Durban.
And the stable companion probably better suited to the conditions of this race, Zouave.
I think so, yeah. Also a little bit out at the weights with some of the horses, you know the way the Pinnacles are structured. But he's a decent little horse. I think 14's a perfect trip for him. Inside track is probably better, but you know, I think he'll be very competitive.
Yeah, she's got a bit of a bad attitude though, and can sometimes pull. Tried the pacifiers on her at home, and she tends to be a little more quiet and calm with it. Hopefully that shows through at the races. She got a nice draw, competitive field, but if she behaves well, then she can be included in quartets and things like that.
Yeah, she's not really well in at the weights, but the filly's doing well at the moment, and we probably want to give her another run or 2 before we give her a break and bring her back in the spring. But it'll be interesting to see how she competes out at the weights against this type of field.
Coming up in race number 5, another filly that's packed with ability, DANZA.
Yeah, same applies with her. She's going hopefully to the Garden Province. Big weight here. You know, it won't be easy for her to carry this weight, and she's definitely not fully fit. So, you know, I would be happy just to see her run into a place here. I'm not really expecting her to win.
Progressive filly, stable companion, race 5, dressed to impress?
Yes, also not very well treated in a Pinnacle plate. She's a one-time winner. And it's been very, very hard to place her because, you know, she as a one-time winning 3-year-old filly, she's been giving chunks of weight away to 3- and 4-time winning 4- and 5-year-old fillies. And, you know, I always think this merit rating system is really unfair on a decent horse, the filly, colt, doesn't matter, that comes out and wins its first start. You know, and I think that bears testament. I mean, 3 seconds and a third in her subsequent runs, and each time she's had it all to do.
Yeah, Elevator's in good form. Probably a strong race for him, but he's just doing exceptionally well at the moment, and it is a handicap at the end of the day, so we thought we'd take our chances. YAKEEN is also in a good space at the moment. Looking for a big run from him. He needs to have a big run in order to qualify for the July, but everything's in his favour. He's just got to show that he's good enough or not. And then CASCAPEDIA, she's really coming on very well. She missed her prep run, unfortunately, due to the strikes. So we'll be using this as a prep for the July, but she's in a good enough space to give a good account of herself.
Coming up in the Jubilee, you've got two horses, ARCTICA and Trading Profit. Looks a bit tough for them, but at the end of the day, it is a handicap.
Yeah, it is a bit tough for them. ARCTICA is the type of horse that, you know, if he puts his best foot forward, he can rally with the best of them, and he needs the race to go his way. I think it will be a race where it looks like there'll be a genuine pace. Trading Profit, he's a horse that's really been doing well for the stable of late. His rating's gone up, so there's no other option than to run him in a race like this. And Ryan Munger's a jockey that's also riding really well and on the up at the moment. He's ridden the horse in work, and I've got a funny feeling that he may be able to get the best out of the horse on the day.
Yeah, he's slowly coming back to himself, and his work at home now is very much on a par with what it was this time last year. And you know, the horses, they lose their form, not their ability. And he took a nasty knock in Cape Town. He got a horrible virus there. He's a horse that needs racing. Took us a long time to get him back fit again and well again. But I think we're very much in the right direction now. I'm very happy with him. He's well drawn. 60 on his back is probably manageable for him. He's a big, strong individual. Callan knows him very well. I'm expecting a good run from him.
Yeah, I'm not going to Hollywood, these two. They are limited. I haven't studied the field just yet, but you know, if they can find nice positions in the race and you know, settle and run on nicely, I'm sure they'll be competitive. Yeah, he's unfortunately got a terrible jaw, but that was the trend with him. He kept drawing badly everywhere we entered, so we had to take our chances here. If he doesn't use too much energy getting over from the jaw, I expect him to be in the money.
And coming up, a filly called Stormborne Thunder. Seems to be improving, coming along the right way.
Yeah, the filly, she is looking for further, but there haven't been any maidens of a further trip, and she's doing well at the moment. It's the first time we've actually got a decent draw with her, so I think she'll finish a lot closer, and she could be a nice bet for your trifectas quartets.
Yeah, he put up a decent third, his penultimate run, and then his last run was a shocker. But we actually ourselves had a shocker of a meeting, and I think the horses were all just, you know, they'd suffered from lack of work. It was raining at the time, so he's had a rest. He's had a grass gallop. A very decent horse and should be included, but obviously not a certainty.